Is it weird to you that so many people are willing to just like mail off their genetic code to complete strangers, corporations? That this is maybe one instance where you don't want to just like click through the
That's
T
fair.
and C's and hope for the best.
Yeah, so if you have your identity stolen, you can kind of recreate it. If you have your genome stolen, obviously,
Someone else can recreate it.
yes, you're not going to change that. So yes, part of me does say that it is rather strange, and there are a lot of people that are quite privacy conscious. I get the question all the time, and I'm candid. I'm like, if you really care that much about your genetic privacy, don't do it. Because no matter what the assurances that they give you, don't believe it. Okay, this is like the candid truth. I myself do not care too much about privacy because I don't think I'm going to become a politician or a warlord or someone to be targeted. So actually, you can actually look up my genotype online. You can look up all my raw data. For most of us, it's probably not that big of a deal. But there are people for whom it's important not to have that information out there. Like long-term insurance. That whole subfield of insurance is actually gone now, apparently, because of information arbitrage. GINA, the Genetic Non-Discrimination Information Act, I think, under the Bush II administration, made it so that people could get genetic testing to see what degenerative diseases they might have.
Sure.
And when they found out, they'll buy the insurance. But the insurance company couldn't use that information or ask, right? So
Right.
that asymmetry made it so that it just wasn't a viable business. So it's starting to affect our lives on the margins. And, as many of your viewers probably know, there's things like prenatal screening that are now ubiquitous. We don't even talk about it, but every woman over 35 is recommended to do it. Many women under 35 do it. You take a blood draw and they figure out if the baby has Down syndrome, some other conditions, and it's not really spoken of in the broader culture. It's just part of our world. So
Playing God without even talking about it anymore.
that's kind of, yeah, it is.
What progress? Does any of this stuff have like bad or sketchy national security implications? Are any of these companies like foreign companies that are like really happy to just keep adding, like the grinder sort of syndrome, but with genes?
Yeah, there have been some issues with China. So Beijing Genomics Institute is a company that's, you know how the Chinese are with their, industrial policy. And so it's heavily connected, obviously, from what I know, to the Communist Party, People's Republic of China government. There are people there that are associated with the government. There are also great scientists there, right? So you have both. And what the Chinese calculated or believed about a decade ago, more than a decade ago, is they had an opportunity in genomics. Obviously, with things like nuclear power, we have massive advantage, decades of advantage, right? But genomics is a field that's only been around for 20 years. So it's nascent, or it was nascent, and so China decided to go all in on it, and they did. And they've kind of created a genomic superpower there. And they were everywhere for a while with their machines and like companies like Novogene, which were operating in the United States. And there were some issues with data security from what I've heard. There were some issues with American companies that use their machines. And, there is a belief, and actually, like, it's not just a belief, there's evidence that some of that data was taken to China. So yes, Chinese do have, from what I know, they do have a lot of American genomes, actually. And that was not something that was put out there,
No, not the kind of news that they like reporting on.